Hello everybody, and welcome back to Root River Rod Co.'s YouTube channel. My name is Philip. Today we'll be tying up a Pat's Midge. This pattern perfectly mimics cripples, as well as midges escaping their shucks, and is a perfect addition to your winter fly box. Sit back, follow along as we explore this pattern and discover an awesome little trick that adds to the realism and also improves visibility of this tiny dry fly on the water. Let's get started. All right, let's start off with the materials. We have a TMC 101 in size 18, Vivis 14-knot black thread, some ginger Zelon. We have white original EP fibers, our grizzly hackle, and our peacock curl. All right, let's start out by securing our thread at about the 2/3 point of the shank and trim out our tag end. We're going to split one strand of the ginger Zelon in half and tie it in on top of the shank. Use a reach cast so that fly drifts over the fish before the line and leader. And then we're going to trim out the excess. In dynamic currents, you can also use a pile cast with a quick mend to achieve a drag-free drift. Bring the thread back to just before the bend of the hook. And then trim the Zelon shuck to be about the same length as the shank. We're going to want to spin our bobbin counterclockwise to flatten the thread and create a smooth tapered abdomen by advancing the thread forwards and touching smooth wraps. An extra small Oros indicator can also help with bite detection. Next, we're going to tie in the wing. About the same amount of, we're going to grab about the same amount of EP fibers as we did for the shuck, maybe just a little bit more. And we're going to tie those in at the initial tie-in point. And we're going to create a small little taper. Using our scissors, we're going to create a loop in the EP fibers and secure it on top of the shank just forward of the rear of the loop. And then adjust it to be about to where the shank starts, the end of the abdomen. You can use your fingernail to evenly distribute the EP fibers around the top of the shank to help spread the wing. The looped EP fibers make this pattern easier to see on the water, and it also adds a realistic profile. And we're going to bring our thread up to just behind the eye, and we're not going to trim out the front EP fibers. Next, we're going to tie in an appropriately sized grizzly hackle feather and trim out the stem. Next, grab about a couple strands of peacock curl, 2-3, and tie those in. And we're going to wrap about 3 to 4 times. Create a nice thorax. And secure the ends. Trim out the excess. Take the grizzly hackle, and we're going to make about 3 to 4 open loops over top of the peacock. And secure the tag end. Next, advance our thread to just behind the eye and trim out the tag end of the hackle. We're going to finish off with a 3 to 5 turn whip finish and try not to trap any EP fibers like I am here. I left this in just to show you that if it gets caught, you can just pull them out and tighten up your thread. Next, we're going to trim out our excess thread and then the front EP fibers to make it look like a male's midge prominent plumose antenna. Last step is to trim out, well, if you have any trapped hackle feathers, get those. And then the last step is to taper out the shuck. Go in with a slight angle and just kind of trim out the tips of the sides and kind of taper out that shuck so it's not so blocky. Stay warm. Invest in quality layers and gloves from Root River Rod Co. If you look like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man or you're uncomfortable, it's hard to focus on the fish. Long leaders and fine tippet, that's the name of the game for midge fishing. You're going to want to use about a 12-foot leader and 6x tippet to avoid spooking any fish. Thanks for tuning into this fly tying video. I hope you picked up some handy techniques for crafting a Pat's midge. You can expect some great results in the wintertime using this pattern. Also, a huge shout out to Root River Rod Co. right in downtown Lanesboro, Minnesota. My fellow fly fishing enthusiasts, make sure you pay them a visit. They offer guided trips and everything you need for a great day on the water. Root River Rod Co. Fish better, adventure more. If you enjoyed this content, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more fly tying tips and fishing adventures.